Welcome to the making of a DM. What are you doing or not doing that's robbing you of your future? The show's going to be very insightful for you. So with that said, let's get started.
I'm more Kevin's DM. I'm more Kevin's DM. I'm here to help and teach him what I know and how I did it. To discover freedom. There ain't no question more Kevin's when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker. But I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker.
Hey there, it's your boy Mark Evans, DM, coming to you from beautiful Parkland, Florida. I have a crazy schedule over the next couple weeks, but before I get into that, I just want to let you know, if the show is making an impact in any way, shape, or form, make sure to share the show with your friends, your colleagues on social media. If you do share on social media, make sure to tag me. I'll make sure to get you some eyeballs on you as well for saying thank you. Not only that, if you haven't taken a couple minutes and got over to the platform you're listening to the show on and give us a 5-star review, do so now. The reason that's important is there's someone right now sitting that needs help. They're online searching, and they're going to find some of these fake gurus that's never done business. It's going to tell them 19-year-old life coaches that tell them how to live life. You know, people that's been in business for 2 years that's never made a dime except selling you how to be in business. And then they're going to get bad information and mess up their life. And we don't want to do that. So you have a hand in that. You could be able to share your positive insight, what the show means to you, the making of a DM, and what you're learning. And just when you do that, the algorithms push us up. We get more eyeballs. We get more exposure. I don't take any ads here. I don't charge anything to be here. I want to be here because I want to help people that want to help themselves. So I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. And like I said, I got a pretty crazy next couple weeks. Friday, and 4 days from now, me and my wife be hopping in the jet, heading down to Austin, Texas for a quick turn and burn. We could leave Friday, get back Monday at 4 p.m. East Coast time, jump in the car, go over to the hotel. On the 27th, I'll be at the hotel. I have an event from 6 to 9 p.m. As soon as I get up the next day on the 28th, I go from... I got to get up 4:44, work out. I'll be down at the thing at 8 a.m. till about 4 p.m. with a bunch of guys, high-level 50K group. And then at 6 p.m., we have a movie premiere. That's right. I have a documentary coming out about the deal maker from trailer parks to millions. It's going to be a cool episode. I've never seen it before ever in my life. I'll see it for the first time on the 28th, which I'm excited, with about 150 people. So it's going to be really cool. And I'm honored and excited. My parents will be in there, my in-laws. It's going to be neat, my kids. So very excited about that. On the 1st as well, I got 2 guys coming in. One guy recently sold a company for $1 billion. He's coming in to speak to the group. And another guy just sold a company for $115 million. And both of these guys have large 9-figure real estate portfolios as well. So we're going to be talking about where we're at, what's going on, how they got there, and all that stuff. So that's just a couple things. And I got a lot more stuff going on as well. But I just want to let you know, before I get started here today, entrepreneurship is hard. I know a lot of people, and maybe even watching me, might think it looks easy. It sounds easy. Right before I got on here and shot this episode, I didn't want to do it. I was honestly about just ready to head out and go hang out for the day. Go to the cigar bar, meet a buddy, talk about some business stuff I got going on. It's much easier sometimes and more fun to talk about the cool stuff that we're going to do, not the stuff we have to do or we're supposed to do. And I just want you to be clear, wherever you're at in the journey, know that this is a process. I've been doing business now for 26 and a half years. I've never had a W-2 job my entire adult life. And I can tell you, I still want to quit. Probably 20 times a day already I wanted to quit. I didn't want to do the Facebook post. I didn't want to do the Instagram lives. I don't want to shoot the show. But these are things that we have to do to get the results that we want, because my goals and my dreams are bigger than the problem, the process. So I just want you to know, I know it's like, cool, yeah, man, we get to, make money and do whatever. Well, I'm beyond the point of making money for myself. I want to help other people make money and gain insights in their life and grow their empire and grow their masterpiece of their life in themselves. So I guess what I'm saying is just don't quit. Just don't quit. It's the only way you can lose as an entrepreneur is if you quit. I've been kicked in the teeth, punched in the gut, nuts practically chopped off multiple times in the same day, and you just keep going. There's days you want to tap out. Many times there's moments that you just get, it just hurts. And I get it. But also it hurts when you sit there and watch people do, knowing, like, this is why I talk about, you got get committed. Get some structure in your day. Like, that's why I wake up early every morning. That's why I do my workout in the morning. That's why I get my stuff done in the morning. From 4:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock in the morning, like, I've done more work in that time and accomplished more things. Let me be clear, though. I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about accomplishing things, getting things done than most people do their entire week. And that's just one day. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying this is stuff I've created, these habits I've created to keep me focused on the goal. It's easy to want to quit. It's easy to want to give up. It's easy to get beat up get beat up every day in entrepreneurship. It's a journey. So again, that's what I want to talk to you today about. So the thing is, what are you doing or not doing that's robbing you of your future? What I'm really talking about is, as an entrepreneur, I see so many great people doing so much work with so little results. And I'm not saying, I'm always afraid to share this kind of stuff because I don't want you to think that you don't do anything and you make lots of money doing nothing. That's not what I stand for. That's not what it is in any way, shape, or form. But I do know, as a hillbilly kid from small town Ohio that had a gutter company that did everything, barely made ends meet, then got a siding window company, barely made ends meet, then did a garage door company, barely ends meet. Like, I know for a fact, as you evolve, if you don't change this mindset, you don't start asking better questions, start thinking about your time different, start thinking about your value different, start thinking about your goals different, you're going to wake up 10, 20, 30, 40 years later, pissed off in your life, realizing that you were focused on the wrong problems. You were doing the wrong things. It's very tough. It's impossible to build a $100 million a year company doing $10 an hour task, right? It's impossible. So what I want to be very clear with you is that my goal today is to kind of talk to you about the mindset shift I had. I remember when I transitioned from gutters, siding, windows, roofing, all this stuff to garage doors to then doing rehabs full time. And I did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rehabs for myself and other people, retail and investors. What I realized is that I can't do everything. I can't be everywhere. I can't be everything for everybody, but I tried. And when I did that, I always created constraints on growth. I created constraints on myself. I was working 16, 18 hours a day. Most of you listening to my voice, you genuinely don't know how to make more money because you're genuinely tapped out time-wise. You just don't have enough time in the day. So it's not about you not working hard. It's about what are we working hard on? And a lot of people I know get very obsessed about things that are not going to move the needle. So when I got very scared when I went full-time into rehabbing because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose everything. And they got rid of those companies. And I didn't lose everything. I actually gained a lot. I created another gel, made a little bit more money in this gel, the gel meaning my rehab company and my real estate company. But then as I exited into doing real estate full-time, one thing I started doing is realizing there's a lot of things here. So I'm going to say a lot of stuff. So hopefully you might have to listen to this twice. But like in real estate, I got to find deals. The way to find deals is through marketing, networking, and all that good stuff, right? I got to tie up deals. I got to go inspect pre-deals before we purchase, right? I got to go raise money if I'm buying them for cash. We got to rehab them. We got to close them. We got to sell them. We got to fix. I mean, there's a million things inside of businesses, right? So I started looking at this a little different. I started asking different questions to get different answers. And I know a lot of people say, oh man, there's no such thing as dumb questions. You're right. There's dumb people, uneducated people not asking good questions. There you're like, that's when you get stuck because you're like, dude, I'm doing everything I know how to do. Why am I not getting the growth? And for me, because I'm dumb, I have to like get so mad and so frustrated with the situation I'm at before I actually start thinking differently to make a bigger change. So for me, I'll give you some context. In real estate, my time's better spent running ads. I'm good at creating advertisement and marketing. I could run advertisements and then I get the phones blowing up and get the phones ringing. Well, I can't answer all the calls. So what I did is I'd hire 2 or 3 people in the beginning to answer calls. Hi, Buckeye Home Buyers, how can I help you? Blah, 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 3-bedroom, 2-bath, XYZ. So we created a process, a formula, if you will, on intaking leads. And then the leads would come in and then they'd go to me. And so right there, I eliminated hours a day right there, just taking calls, right? And then I got over to the processing side where I'd take a lead sheet and I'd process the leads. This is all manual, by the way. This was not computer days. This is like early 2000s. So I'd literally look at the lead sheet and say, hey, we can make this offer at this number. Here's where we're at, blah, 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 blah. And I would do this and then go back to them and then they'd close the deal. While all that's going on, we have to realize, like when I'm saying, hey, I'll pay $100,000 for this, I'll pay $30,000 for this, I'll pay $20,000 for that, I'll pay $50,000 for this, all this stuff, I'm making financial commitments, right? If all these offers get accepted, I better have the money, let's say $500,000 sitting in an account ready to execute. So while all these guys and gals are talking and taking deal flow, I'm on the other side creating conversations with private investors, talking about private money, understanding how to get their money in play, how to make 8 or 10% on their money through secured real estate by blah, 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 being the bank, XYZ, right? So my time was spent marketing, generating activity. My other best time was spent by going out and getting the money because you need both of those sides to make the middle work. And then it gets better. So I used to go to all the houses myself because I understand the difference from a footer and a foundation to the soffit and fascia, tile, the windows, the door, all that stuff, right? Headers, etc. So I started saying, okay, when I'm going to this house, how can someone else do this for me? That sounds scary, right? Especially to control freaks, right? I know how to look at a house. I can tell you if it's $5,000 or $50,000 for a rehab fairly quickly, and I could be in the ballpark of a 20% ratio either way. So I started creating an intake form on that side. I'd say, hey, Steve, we got a property at 123 Highland. Walk over there, get over there, and fill out the sheet and let us know. Take some pictures. Here's how it looks. Take this picture, take that picture. Like they have to take like 80 to 100 pictures, literally. Roof, foundation, basement, any bad areas. It looks like the front yard, the backyard, east, west, south, north, up, down, left, right. Like we had a structure of doing this. So I would pay that person anywhere from $50 to $100 to do that. And the average person could go to 3 to 4 properties a day. At $50 a day, that's $200 a day. That's a pretty good income. It's about $50,000 a year simply taking pictures and filling out paperwork. So now I'm at the office. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm advertising. We're running leads. The calls are getting made and accepted. Intake forms are being put on my desk. While the forms are being put on my desk, I'm on the other line talking to people about private money or meeting people for lunch or going to networking events or speaking on stages or doing conference calls, etc. And then just talking about money, planting the seeds, right? Constantly. Every day. I still do it today. Talking about money. What do you got? What are you working with? What are you looking for? What's your risk tolerance? What's your investment strategies? What are you trying to accomplish? XYZ, right? That's something I do every single day still, just because I've done it so many times. It's just ingrained in me. So while all that's going on, these properties went out for $50,000. The seller's like, oh my God, my house is beautiful. It doesn't need anything. Then I look at the report. Okay, we offered 50. It's worth 100 when it's fixed up. It needs 20,000 in work. So we're at 70 cents on the dollar. Okay, it kind of fits in the ballpark. But then our inspector goes out and he's like, yo, this place needs about 30,000 in work. Okay, well, hey, Steve, you got to call the seller. And this is factual negotiations. See, I'm not trying to steal a deal. I'm trying to just get a good deal and do volume, right? So they go back. Steve would get on the phone. Hey, Nancy, the seller, here's the deal. We had it stop by, as you know, XYZ. Here's where we're at. Here's where we need to be. Is this something you can make work? If not, that's fine. If so, let's take the next step. Next step would be title. Head it over to title. Make sure there's nothing wrong with the title. Get insurance, title insurance all set up the closing, and we close the deal. So I would eliminate myself out of 90% of the effort, the daily effort, like work, right? I had to work. Someone has to work to do the ads. Someone has to work to take the phone calls. Someone has to work to go look at the property. Someone has to work at renegotiating a deal. Someone has to work at initiating title. Someone has to work to go to closing. All these pieces, minus running ads initially and getting the money and telling the people where we'd be at on the numbers, that's all I did all day long. So I got really good at doing deal analysis in seconds and boom, boom, boom. Why are they selling? What's their motivation? Why are they selling? Where are they at? What's the dollars, right? So that was phase one of my real estate changing of the journey. So as I did that, I started asking different questions, better questions, deeper questions. Okay, now I've got a lot of this off my plate. How can I do more volume without me being involved in all these steps? So I hired a marketing person. Once my marketing stuff works, hire someone paying $5,000 a month to run the ads, to manage the ads. What happened is they actually did a better job than me. Why? Because they only had one job to do: run ads and make sure that they're performing at these numbers. When I was doing it, I was doing 3 other jobs, right? I was running ads, looking at deal analyses, and then getting the money. Those are 3 separate jobs inside the one thing. And we all do this. We all oh, it's no big deal. We do all this anyways. Yeah, we do, but probably not that good. So when I handed it off, our volume actually doubled. So I paid $5,000 to go from 10 deals a month to 20 deals a month. Just like that. Just that one piece. And a lot of you listen to my voice are thinking, oh my God, but what if it doesn't work? Well, what if it doesn't work? I'm still back to square one where I was at anyways. But the real question, what I would always ask myself is, what if it fucking did work? And it did work. It worked so well. And I'll share more of that in a second. But it worked so well, we hired 2 marketing people, right? We ultimately got where we did over 100 deals in a month. Our consistent numbers were 50 to 70 deals a month, like clockwork. That's not easy to do in real estate, by the way. So, and that's not BS. It took time to do that, it took time to get there. But I had to change my thought process. I had to hire people. I had to take my money and go hire people to put in place once I defined the roles and responsibilities and have them go out and execute the plan. So hired that marketing person. They doubled the front end lead gen, which would double deal flow. And then I'm like, okay, now we had 4 inspectors. We had 4 inspectors going to all these properties because, right, if we get 100 leads in, we might take 50, look at 50, and that means you got to inspect 50 properties. And then out of that 50, you might buy 20 of them, 20-ish, 30 to 40, 50% maybe on a good month of those deals. So you're spending a little bit of money. That's why most people don't do it. It's like, well, you're spending money, right? Because it's $50 times 50. That's $2,500 in inspection fees a month if we use $50 as the number. Well, that's okay because my time's worth more than $2,500. My time's way worth more than $50 if you're looking at independent piece. But what I did, I had to switch my gears and I had to go full hardcore on raising money. And then as we're raising money, connecting with people, letting them know, getting them involved in deals, just deal making, right? Put them in a deal for 50. We sell it in 30 days. They make 53,000. We make our money. They make their money. They're like, how do I do more? And we just kept doing more and more and more and more and more and growing with them. And then got to a point at closings. I just could not go to all the closings. We had so many closings going on. Because keep in mind, I'm just talking about 20 deals we're buying. If we're buying 20, we got to be selling 20 because that was our model. We'd buy, fix up, put them in rentals, and then sell them. That was our model, just churn and burn. Turnkey is what they call it. So I'd be at closings all the time. And then I was like, well, what if I don't go to closings? And everyone's like, dude, you cannot not go to closings. I'm like, says who? Like, you think Trump is going to all his closings? You think so-and-so is going to all their closings? It's impossible. So what I did, I started learning about power of attorneys, having people that could sign documents on my behalf if they got to this certain point, right? So I could pay my lawyer to go in and sign documents for me. They're already there. What was cool, the title company I used had the lawyer in there and the title company and a mortgage broker company and all that. Like it was a full service office space. So it was great to have them. I'm sitting there having a meeting at a chicken wing shop, getting a beer and chicken wings, I'm guessing, selling money, talking to people about money. While all that's going on, people are buying deals, people are selling deals, people are inspecting deals, and I'm focused on the piece that's growing the company, revenue. By the way, all these pieces are equally important. So don't get it twisted. Like if the deal flow stops on the front end, I don't need to raise as much money. If the inspections break down and they're not being done right, I can't do more deal flow, which I'd lose more money. So they all have to come together. And as an entrepreneur, as an owner, these are things that we must be doing. We need to be thinking, where is our highest value in the organization and company? Right now, I'm building another company, right? Well, let me stop for a second before I share that. Go backwards again for a second. Keep in mind, inside all that real estate stuff I was talking about, there's accounting. There's people that have to get paid every week, like employees and contractors. There's note holders that have to get paid. There's a lot of accounting pieces. I used to do all this myself. Crazy. And I know people do it. Like, then I hired someone for $1,800 a month. There's a third-party company I hired for $1,800 a month to come in and take all that off my plate. Literally, it freed up so much mental space that allowed me to even double the business again, right? See, when you have to, like, why in the right mind would you want to grow your business if you grow your pain point? If you're listening to my voice, probably accounting and paperwork is a pain point for you. It is definitely for me. So instead of doing, I can't grow because I would always pop the growth because I'm like, dude, I can't grow anymore because if I grow this, then I grow the problem. And the problem was I don't want to do paperwork. The problem is it's already a shitty mess right now. If I grow it, it's going to be a way bigger problem. So I'd always subconsciously pull back. Marketing's not working. Slow it down. Steve, I can't buy that deal. They need to be different numbers, blah, blah, blah. I create all these excuses and problems, but yet my dreams and goals kept driving me to the next step. So you got to get focused on what you really want this business to do for you. And you got to start looking at this. I know people have money in their bank account, but they don't hire people because they're afraid of messing it up. Newsflash, you're going to mess it up. Don't mess it up on purpose. But if you have a job, roles, responsibilities, and you have a budget, hire people, get them in your system, have them help you grow your empire, your organization. You have to share the vision. They have to know where they're at, where they're going, what their jobs, roles, responsibilities are, and in execution mode. So all these things are over the top. And I see great people trying to do all these things, working very hard. They're running ads. They're taking calls. They're being diligent on data. They have the best CRM under the moon. They are going inspecting every property. They're going to Home Depot and Lowe's and contracting companies, and they're negotiating deals, and they're doing this and they're doing that. Then they're trying to raise money to do more deals, but they're so busy they don't have time to raise money, so they can't do more deals, and they can't do another deal until they close the deal they already bought with someone else's money. And then by the time that happens, 14 deals have passed by their inbox, and they're like frustrated and angry. Why can't I fix this? What's going on? It's because we're not asking the right questions. We're not doing the right activities. How can you be mad if you're gaining weight, but you're eating Cheetos and Doritos and drinking beer all day? You can't be mad. You're doing the wrong activities to get the results that you're seeking or desiring, right? So good in, good out. We got to get better at asking better questions. How do you want this thing to look in the future? And if you fast forward to today, by the way, that was like a long time ago, and I do this with every business. I'm trying to figure out how not to work in any business. My job's not to work in the business. My job is to constantly work on the business, on top, down, so I can share vision, share growth, be on the lookout for hiring people, right? So we have another company we started about 18 months ago, and it's crushing it. We've hired lots of people. We have a new office space coming on board. We have lots of salespeople, lots of affiliates, 2,500 affiliates. We have all these pieces, all these people, from call centers to cold callers to intake forms to document prep people to it's a lot. It's a lot of moving parts. Accounting, I always forget about accounting because I try to avoid accounting like the plague, right? But you need great accounting. So as this is going, I spend maybe an hour a day in that business. And when I say in it, from 10:30 to 11, I'm on the phone with people, my team, my core team, my top-down guys, my COO, the managers, etc. We're talking about where we're at, where we're going, what's going on. And I only do that Mondays and Fridays, by the way. So I hired great people what have skill sets in each vertical, each category. Great in sales, check. Great in document prep. They love documents. I hate it, check. Hey, great in managing people day to day. You love it, check. Hey, you're great in software development, check. So we have these people, these components. And again, this costs money. This isn't, when I say cost, to me, it's an investment, right? Because I'm going to invest in all these people and they're going to level up the company. We're going to grow the company. The good news is that company does very well already. As we're evolving, it's going to do very, very, very well, not just for me as the owner, but also all the people involved in the levels because they all get to grow with me. So if I started that business and looked at it a little differently and said, how do I do everything? I'll take the calls. I'll take the documents. I'll do the software development. I can save a couple bucks. I'll do this. I'll do that. So many of you are trying to save money, and I messed this up for years. I tried to save money on things, and it always cost me double or triple of dollars. But what we really forget is we just lost 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 years of time. It's not the money I'm worried about. And when you really understand that, it's not just the money, that you're worried about. It's the time that you're losing, the momentum, right? You're crushing, boom. And then the momentum pulls back on you. That's tough. So what are you doing or not doing that's robbing you of your future? If you're not taking money that's in your bank account and hiring great people to help you grow your organization, you're robbing from your future. If you're not looking at your business and saying, how do I hire someone? How can I process this piece out? By the way, in real estate, everyone told me, I did this in 2005, by the way. Everyone told me, Evans, real estate's a chest-to-chest business. There's no way in hell you can buy real estate without meeting the seller. Well, I did thousands of deals without meeting a seller. Are you going to lose some deals by not meeting the seller? Absolutely. But I'm not worried about doing 1 or 2 deals or losing 10 deals in the grand scheme of things. I'm worried about automating, systematizing, and structuring with great systems, great organization, and great people. That's what I'm focused on. See, the people that were telling me like, dude, you're losing deals. They were doing 2 deals a month. So if they lost 1 deal a month, that was a problem. We went from 10 deals to 50 deals and beyond a month, not meeting a seller in person, doing virtual remote rehabs with great teams on the ground. Now, that didn't always work out well, but it doesn't work out well even when you're local, even when you're showing up to the job every day by yourself with them. It doesn't work out well all the time. It's called business. And I think a lot of times, real business, people want to play it. They want to act like it's easy. I'm not saying I didn't lose sleep. I'm not saying I don't dry heave once in a while. I don't say I don't get overwhelmed. I don't say I don't freak out. But what I'm saying is that if we're going to freak out, if we're going to get overwhelmed, if we're going to be dry heaving, why not do it where it makes a lot of fucking money and it's worth it? Because all that, when I was doing all that, I wasn't making that much money initially. Like $100,000 a year, maybe, gross in the company, right? That was back in the day, 96. And then I got to $1 million gross. That's not even a lot of money back then because you're pouring all the money back in the company. See, most of you make $300,000 and you go and living $400,000 lifestyle. You got to be educated and dedicated to the process. Where are you at and where you want to go? Stop taking the vacations. Stop playing business. Start being in business. You can live the life of your dreams if you'd slow down on the play and get serious and get in the trenches and really get to work on the game, on the real big picture. Like you are a masterpiece. You got to work this thing. You got to build the brain, read, write, deploy, work. I'm not saying not to go play, but there's a time and place for play and work. And most of you are too busy fucking playing, too busy watching people on Instagram like, dude, if they're on vacation, why can't I? Well, you don't know what they did. You don't even know what they're doing, nor does it matter. I'm focused on me, economy. I wrote a book about it, right? So I got busy on me. Who do I need to become to run a real organization? And then it just gets bigger because then you start hiring people that can make financial decisions for you. See, in real estate, there's a lot of financial decisions that have to be made. And that's a process to let go. For me, the hardest part was when I was selling properties, I was really connected with a lot of these buyers. They were my buddies. They become friends of mine. So I had to figure out a way to transfer my relationship over to a sales guy or a gal. So I had to transfer my relationship over to a sales guy or gal. And when I did that, it would be something like, hey, Steve, you got to meet Ann. She's amazing. She'll take great care of you. The truth is she'll take way better care of you than I can because I'm running around here like a chicken with my head cut off. And she's directly working with the deals. She'll give you better insights. She's going to be on the phone. She's more available than I am. And she'll help you accomplish your goals with our company. Are you cool with that? Cool. Hand off the relationship. Now, again, at first it sounds weird because you're an owner and this is your baby. And you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm handing over the reins. I'm handing over the keys to the castle. This is a process. You got to undo. You got to unlearn your bad habits, your bad behaviors. Your bad behaviors of you being a control freak, you thinking no one can do it as good as you. You're the best at the game, blah, blah. That may be the case on some of these. But again, if you're the best person at doing a $10 an hour job and you're doing it, trying to figure out how to make $100 million a year company out of this, you might as well just toss it up. You're done. It can't work. It will never work. It's just going to cause a lot of agony, frustration, overwhelm, anxiety attack. It's not worth it. So what I'd recommend is sit down, grab a pen and paper, pad and paper, right? Write down, what do you do all day? Most of you listening to my voice probably only really accomplish like maybe 3 or 4 real things a day, if that. You're busy all day. Same people come to me, Mark, I'm trying to figure out balance with my family. Show me what you do all day. 90% of your work is just work. I get hired out to $5 an hour people in a foreign country to do it. Yeah, man, I just don't have enough money. Do you want balance or money? Do you want time with your family or money? I don't believe in balance, by the way, but do you want time with your family or money? Right? The cool thing about this is once you get really dialed in on all these activities you're doing, you think you're very important in all these activities. I'm not important in any of my activities except the vision driving and making the big decisions. I only hear the real bad stuff, by the way, at this point. I got to deal with the real bad stuff. By the time it gets to me, it's like, oh shit, it's bad, right? And that happens daily, by the way. So you got to get good at this. You got to get better at making bigger decisions because they sound big right now, but I can go hire someone for $4,000 a month to build X, Y, and Z. I can have them do this for me. It's going to free up 12 hours a day of my time, 3 hours a day. What is your time worth? What is your time worth? I see a lot of great people, like I said earlier, working way too hard for too little. And it's not about working. I want you to focus on getting results. I don't care if you work a minute or an hour or 100 hours a day. Just get the results that you're desiring. Most people don't have the mindset or the wherewithal of what they're actually doing and why they're pissed off why they're not getting the results. Well, the results will never show up. If the $100 million results will never show up if you're doing the $10 an hour stuff. Get to work, get serious about it. Most importantly, if this show, I would love to hear like how many hours a week you're putting in right now. And not only that, how many hours a week? Have you ever met the guy or gal that's working like 3 hours a day, that's producing millions of dollars a year? And then I meet the people that's working 16 hours a day that barely make ends meet. I used to be that guy. I can tell you right now, I work way less and I make way more, but by thousands and thousands of percentages more by working less, but I'm working smarter. Now, that does not say I'm investing a lot more money in people. I have different businesses I'm investing and growing and pushing. Not to say that's not scary too, but that's a different time, different place for that conversation. But I'm telling you now, if you don't start valuing and understanding great people, start hiring for these pieces inside your organization, you're going to wake up many years later pissed off that you did not leverage your dollars today to get the future you desire. The time is now. We got to get very clear on what you're doing, very clear on what's taking up your time. Is it important for you to do it or not do it? Not based off you, but based off of where you're going, and and get serious about getting a plan in place to start executing it accordingly. So I want you to let me know what's going on. You can let me know at Mark Evans DM on Instagram. Shoot me a message. By the way, this is the same shit we talk about inside of the DM Alliance. If you're not in a group with badass killers, crushing it in business and life and growing what we're talking about on a daily, weekly basis, that group is for you. It's only $1,000 a month. You can always message me in Instagram at Mark Evans DM. Type in DM Alliance. I'll get you a link. You can learn about it, what's going on, what we're up to. But there's amazing people doing amazing things in all types of businesses. I don't care what kind of business you're in. There's people in this group that's doing these types of businesses. And they're growing them. They're pushing. Not everyone's got it figured out. And by the way, no one has it figured out, including me. I'm still figuring out the growth, the bigger levels, the next level. But I bring on amazing people, amazing guests. Most importantly, I show up every single day to help you grow your empire, to grow your business, and get you on the path, trajectory of a whole nother level. So keep me posted. Shoot me a message. Let me know that the show was amazing for you today. If it hit home, let me know. But again, what are you doing or not doing that's robbing you from your future? Make your day count. Peace.
I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. From a small town in Ohio, so I know how it is. And I come from a lot of money. I remember as a kid, wanted to make 100 racks. Didn't see no one making more than that. Graduated high school with a 1.8. They should've held me back. I hope my principals and teachers are alive just to witness this. I'm my own boss, I'm out here running 2-8-figure businesses. I can walk away from it all, and I'll be good, but I've been called to help people just like y'all learn the game. It's time to ball. Everybody chasing the money, but I'm not chasing the money. I'm out here chasing the purpose, yo, I've been working my whole life. What got us where we at isn't gonna get us where we wanna go. So it's time to push, time to learn, time to grow. I'm more Gavin's DM. I'm here to help and teach him what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question more Gavin's when he step in the door. He's closing deals. It's time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. I'm more Gavin's DM. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. DM project.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.